Hi everyone, welcome back to RainbowToastStudios. My name is Rainbow, and today we have a happy little speed build, and I'm calling it my interactive grassland speed build because we are about to do a fun little interactive enclosure. I'm just showing you my map here real quick of my current zoo. This is my zoo that I call 5-Star Dreams because I am trying to get to 5 stars as soon as possible with this little city zoo. And it's all kinds of cute, and I might tour it later, I don't know. But just for this one, I just showed you a quick overview of what the zoo looks like right now. And this lot right here is where I am going to make my exhibit. So, yeah, it took me a while to choose an animal, and that is because this was improvised. And I kind of just decided at the last minute which animals I wanted to put in and like what I was going to do with it and everything. But I got this great idea for a grassland exhibit that included that little farm interactive entertainment thing that they have where the guests can ride ponies. And I was thinking, we can get horses in, we can get buffalo in and take advantage of the fact that it's already a grassland. So I'm over here in this corner, I decided just to use the whole corner for it. Those are always fun, nice big corner exhibits. Very often I do this with savanna animals because that is easier. Normally I would not be able to do it, at least with horses. Buffalo are pretty cheap, but the horses are, I believe, 10,000 each. So there goes that little barn where you can ride those ponies. And my vision was to have this like walk-through enclosure that you could go into and like have a little viewing area, and then on the other side of that you can actually go and ride horses. Hence the interactive part of the grassland exhibit. But so for it to be an actual walkthrough exhibit where there's not two separate enclosures and it's all one, I had to do a little bit of a path just so that animals can get underneath it and you have animals on all sides of you while still making it one exhibit, not having that little tiny thing in the middle be one. So pro tip, you can actually get rid of the columns underneath those little paths there. So that is what I did. I went over to the side on the left. There is a button to make the bridges invisible. And that is very handy when you're doing stuff like this. And I decided on that little cable fence because I like the look of it, honestly. It looks a little bit like the barn one, but I could have gone with a wooden slat fence, I believe. I think that was okay for both of them. Was it the wooden slat fence? I think the slat fence is the one that's like covered up. I mean the one that's got two horizontal ones, like the normal, I guess. I would have gone with the wooden grassland fence because it's super cute and white, has a little grass on it. But I think it was the buffalo was not okay with that fence. So I just went with the cable fence as a compromise because both animals are fine with it, and I did want both in here. You could do just horses, but I do like having a little bit of variety and having like two herds mixed in here. I thought it was kind of cool. But you could totally make it really cool with horses too and still have that like little interactive horse thing in the middle, like the guests are riding your horses, but they're not. We don't do that to our horses because they are critically endangered. Not again. And here I am putting way too many trees, and I go back and delete some because I decide that I do want it to be like kind of an open grass plain and have just trees on the outside. I didn't want it to be a forest because grassland is not so much forest. That would be more like boreal. And I had an idea after that what I could have done also is mix in like a little bit of trees from other biomes, like the forest biomes like boreal, because that's more likely to have densely packed trees, and in the wild it wouldn't be just grassland forever. So that's a bit of a realistic touch, but it would also decrease your educational exhibits fame because the exhibit has to like really match what the animal's environment is like, for it to be what they consider educational. But they won't actually be uncomfortable. They won't complain about it unless like too much of the enclosure is not suitable for their habitat. And they will let you know. You'll get a lot of angry messages from the animals. But so here I'm getting rid of some. I'm adding in a lot of grass because I'm thinking, you know, it's a grassy field. It's got to have grass in it. And they can also use the grass as a sort of shelter, just lying in that. So I wanted to have that. And the nice little wooden troughs with our straw and water. And unfortunately, how I have them, the animals apparently can't use them. As annoying as that is, I had to branch them out a little bit because they kept complaining they couldn't use them. So I beautified this area a little bit. Everyone loves some benches and some flower posts. It's so nice. Ain't it nice? Look at that. Little flower posts. And then I wanted to do something there with flowers. So I tried to like do a little square thing there. And that wasn't really working. I ended up having to do it like at a diagonal and then have just nothing in between. Because nothing could fit in that little corner except for like another light post. And I thought it would be kind of weird. So we just left that empty. We put some more sidewalk in. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. And then I add also some stuff onto the bridge. Add some fences. And I add those little lookout things. I'm not sure what that does as far as like, I think it's for entertainment. But for our purposes here, it was for the appeal and like realism a little bit. A real zoo might have that if they have a really big enclosure, especially up on the bridge, so you can see a little bit farther. And this enclosure with this size is pretty good for a big herd. It's a pretty good enclosure, so if you want to fit a lot in it, you can. I don't know if it would fit more than like 6 of each species. You might have to get rid of the babies or start getting rid of the parents once the babies start being able to mate. And added these little shade structures in. And I had thought about putting something there. In that corner I just deleted like for trees or flowers or something. But I just left it how it was. It's just a two block path. So I left it like that. There's not enough room to begin with. So here are the animals coming in. We placed 2 males and 2 females, and that is enough for them to continue propagating, fancy word for mating and having babies and all that. And they can, that's a self-supporting colony right there. So you can leave them mating for a while and just hope that like one of them doesn't have just strictly one gender child and then they can't. They all have females. The females only have female babies and then they can't clone themselves, so they all die off. But that's not going to happen. It's okay. Keep your fingers crossed. But so we have our buffalo and our horses in. And yeah, we do end up having to move the silly troughs that can't be right next to each other. And yeah, look at them walking around. They're so cute. I do tour in the bottom, of course. We love our 3D. And I didn't even talk about that sequoia. That sequoia tree comes with the endangered species DLC. And I just thought it would be a nice touch. Because we have this nice little path area. A lot of the archways are pretty frustrating because you have to have like a 3-wide pathway. And it only lets in one, like it only has one square in between like this. But this one worked out pretty well. And here, just ignore the error messages. That might be a lot to ask. But I do take care of it afterwards at least. Just taking in the scenery here with our little path through. And I actually really like how the fence turned out. This isn't bad at all. You can see right through it. It's going to keep all of them enclosed. This guy wants to say hi. Give him a little bath. And doesn't our barn look nice too? I think it looks so nice in the middle of it. And you can see I actually didn't I didn't close the fence around the back of the barn. I just attached it to the front of it, and that's actually worked out fine. I don't know if later on it would get buggy or not, but it's just attached right to that fence right there. And our keeper is being lazy as always. Nothing much to do yet, I guess. And I did not want to make it hilly or anything. I know I could have done that to add a little bit more variety, but I did want to keep it true to like a plains grassland that would be more grass and trees and more flat than hilly. So I really like this area because you can look over and see past the path on the other side and really see that it's like a full walk-through experience. And there's our other side. I really like the view from this little bridge. And look at that sunset on the city. It's so pretty. And it's such a pretty game. And now coming back on this area is like a little food court over here. I didn't talk about that. Here we go inside the enclosure. Those are like toys for them. We got a salt lick and a little thing they can rub themselves on to clean themselves. There's a horsey. Oh, I love the horses in here. They're super cute. And I went to check to see if they had eaten anything or if I really needed to move them. There they are, licking the salt lick, having the time of their lives. I don't know how to say the name. I don't know how to say the name of those horses. Prewelski or something? Pretzels? Pretzel horses? Little lonely buffalo over here. And this one's really frustrated that he can't get food, I guess. So we go back up and like move around their food and stuff. I guess they have to have like technically clearance all around it. If you want it for aesthetics, you can probably leave them together. I think they can probably work their way around it, but they will keep complaining about it. And there's not really a way to stop them from complaining unless you change it. So, might just want to move it. Go back down for another look. Up on my bridge that I love so much. Look at that. He's calling out again. Oh, he's happy. He's like, hi, Mom. Hi. But so that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed this nice little walkthrough of my interactive grassland speed build. I hope you guys like the speed build sort of thing, because I certainly do, and it's a nice little change of speed from the campaign where everything is intense and I have to watch my money. And here I have unlimited money, so that's always fun. So that is all for me today, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye-bye. Hey there, it's your girl Rainbow. I'd really appreciate a like or checking out my other videos. Bye.